You are live, ma'am. You can start, please. Hello.
Yeah, can I go live?
Yeah, you are live. You can start, please.
Okay. All right, everybody, how are you? I hope everybody is good. Yes? So, first of all, very sorry for being late. There was some very small technical glitch because of which I got a little late. So, looking forward to have a very interactive session today. So, I can see that there are some live learners here, and that's really good to see that people are joining in. So we are going to begin with 50 hacks for writing. Before I begin with them, I would want to introduce myself. My name is Shivangi Narula, and I am a certified British Council IELTS trainer. I have been serving into this industry for over 6 years now. And apart from being an IELTS trainer, I am also into corporate trainings, wherein I train a lot of trainers, wherein I train a lot of employees, mid senior, senior level. So this is all about me. So I'm really happy that Unacademy has given me a chance to be on the platform and help and train a lot of individuals to crack IELTS. So, talking about the today's topic, we are going to talk about 50 hacks for writing in 30 minutes. Right. So, here I would want to, know one thing, which is like, are you all comfortable with Hindi or English? You're all comfortable speaking in Hindi, or you're comfortable speaking, like listening to me in Hindi or English? Please reply. So Preet Kaur says both. That's good. That's good. Okay. All right. So we can talk. We can have a very bilingual session, and we can talk both in Hindi as well as in English. Without wasting any further time, I would want you to move on the topic. Before that, we have. I have something to show you. As you know that I'm an educator with Unacademy, and I'm really proud to be with Unacademy as it offers a lot of variety of courses for students, and it helps people to aid their journey. So with this, we have plus courses on the platform. हम लोगों के platform के ऊपर plus courses होते हैं, wherein you get subscriptions. You can take subscriptions for like month, 3 months, 6 months, depending upon the time that you look forward to avail the subscription. But the best part is that कि आप लोग subscription ले सकते हो. In case if you look forward to purchase the subscription, you have a coupon to use, wherein you get a referral code, which is Shivangi 10. That is capital letter Shivangi, and this thing, the 10. I'm so sorry. Shivangi, and then you get 10, that is capital SHIVANGI. So you get this, and you can avail your subscription. You can take your subscription and you can use. All right. So I would say that we have a lot of things to. So just give me a moment. All right. So we have a lot of things in the Plus subscription. You get a lot of live courses, you get a lot of live lectures, special classes, YouTube lectures, and a lot more apart from this. So I would say that in case if somebody wishes to purchase the subscription, you have you get to use my referral code, and you can get a chance to get your essays evaluated. You get a chance to talk to me, speak to me over different social media channels that we have. So in this way, it is going to be a very interesting journey that we all are going to ensure for everyone. Yeah, so here is the referral code, and you can use the referral code, and you can really go ahead with the subscriptions and the plus courses. And to be very honest, trust me guys, you would love using the subscriptions. It's not just about my channel, as in my subscription I'm saying, but overall what you get to see on Unacademy is something that is really really interesting. And apart from being interesting, it is something that you really get to learn a lot. So I would say that this is going to be something really really interesting for a lot of you. So, without taking a lot of time of yours, I would want to talk about the 50 writing hacks that we have for the day. I hope everything is visible. Yes. Is it visible? All right. So, is it visible to everyone? Yes. All right. So, let's not waste any time, and let us go ahead. And we would want to talk about the first hack for writing. And the first hack for writing is do not copy three words consecutively from the question. क्वेश्चन में से तीन वर्ड्स कंजेकेटिवली कॉपी नहीं करने हैं. दैट इज नॉट एक्सेप्टेबल, एंड दैट इज समथिंग नॉट गुड. दैट can take away your marks, that can actually take away your band. So I would say do not write or pick up three words directly from the question. All right, any doubts still here? All right, so the next tip is try not to use similar words again and again. Do not try to repeat similar words again and again. बारी बारी एक ही word को use नहीं करना है. Do not repeat one word again and again. As in, आप एक word को बारी बारी repeat नहीं कर सकते. That is not good. Try to use synonyms and antonyms for that matter. Do not repeat one word again and again. Is it clear? Any doubts still here? ठीक है. So try using synonyms and antonyms in the paragraph. अगर आप लोगों ने कोई एक for example एक word लिखा good, तो कोशिश करो कि good के बदले कुछ और word लाओ. synonyms और antonyms का use करो. Don't just keep on writing the same word again and again. बारी बारी एक जैसा word. Hello Ali, how are you? Do not repeat same word again and again. Do not use phrases in your paragraph such as again and again, day and night. ये सारे phrases writing के paragraph में use नहीं होते. They are not at all acceptable. Why? Because phrases are informal and they are not at all accepted in IELTS writing. So make sure that you do not use any phrases in IELTS writing. ठीक है, कोई भी phrases यूज़ नहीं करेंगे IELTS की राइटिंग में सच एज अगैन एंड अगैन, डे एंड नाइट. इस तरह के phrases को यूज़ नहीं करेंगे. वी आर गोइंग टू अवॉइड, राइट. Try avoid using the words very much, so much, many much. ये जितने भी वर्ड्स हम लोग यूज़ करते हैं. हाई गुरांश. सो हम लोग ये सारे वर्ड्स को यूज़ नहीं करेंगे. ट्राई टू अवॉइड यूजिंग सच वर्ड्स. दे आर नॉट गुड. बजाय कि वेरी ब्यूटिफुल लिख रहे हो, ट्राई टू राइट समथिंग एल्स. ट्राई टू राइट डाउन something like a synonym for that, a better word for that. Don't repeat the words. Do not use informal words like very much, so much, many much. ये सारे words use नहीं करने. They are not allowed, and rather they are not acceptable. And most of the time it's not about being acceptable. It is rather about being something that's formal and something that's informal. So I would say that do not talk about and do not use words like very much, so much, and all of them. All right. Talking about the next tip for the day. Sixth tip for the day is try to insert examples in the paragraphs. So whenever you get to write a paragraph, always ensure that you get to write paragraphs, you get to write examples in your paragraphs के साथ साथ examples insert करना is something very very important. It's not just in terms of you know it will not just give you more bands, but rather there's a better logic behind it to understand, which says that it's not about understanding, it's not about the whether the paragraph would look good or better. It's not about that. There's actually a logic, because adding examples would mean that you are actually trying to make your arguments effective. Basically, we are going to talk about the effective arguments at the end of the session. When once I'll complete all of these tips, I would really love to talk about the you know the session, the examples and the why we use examples, and things like effective arguments. So we would definitely discuss about those things, and that too pretty soon, right? So thank you Achala. Also, when I talk about seventh point, which says that your paragraphs should include short paragraphs, it is extremely important for us to divide our paragraph into shorter paragraphs, which means that you should not write one paragraph in just like one go. Don't do that. Always try to break, you should have the breaks of paragraphs, as in you should have shorter paragraphs. They are always going to be beneficial in terms of conveying your idea to your reader. So in terms of IELTS writing specifically, you should break your paragraphs into shorter paragraphs, as they are going to help you score better bands. Write long words, do not use long paragraphs. So this is a very beautiful trick. I mean, this is a very, very interesting and a very informative, tip that I usually give. So I would say that this is something you should follow. And this says that the tip says that you have to basically use long words and do not use long paragraphs. Yes, so it's not about long paragraphs. Don't make long paragraphs. Always try to make shorter paragraphs. They are good. That's good to make shorter paragraphs. They are better. But I mean, I never say that you make long paragraphs, because there's no point making long paragraphs. Ultimately, whatever you have to write, you have to complete your paragraph in 250 words, and that too, if you make some short 3 or 4 paragraphs, that's beneficial. But if you ask me, I specifically make 5 short paragraphs when I do my IELTS writing. So this is what I do, but then different people, and they have different ways through which they write. So I think that the only thing that we can talk about, which is like something that we have in common, is like, do not use long paragraphs. Try to use long words. I'm going to talk about some examples regarding the same point. So till then, wait, and I would definitely come on to that point. Now, the second important thing that we need to discuss, that is the rule number 9, or you can say hack number 9. When I talk about hack number 9, there's something very, very interesting that I have for all of you. And the tip is that you have to use range of words. When I talk about range of words, what do you mean by the word range of words? When I say range of words, how do you think range of words will actually, affect our paragraph? So, and what exactly range of words is? So when I talk about range of words is basically adding and writing more words as in, do not have same word repeating again and again. Always try to have good range of words in your paragraphs that are going to ensure, that are going to speak volume about your vocabulary, that is your lexical resource. yes, वो आपके लेक्सिकल रिसोर्स के बारे में बताएगा कि हाउ योर लेक्सिकल रिसोर्स, लाइक देयर इज अ पैरामीटर, जिस पैरामीटर पे आपको चेक किया जाता है. देयर इज वन पैरामीटर कॉल्ड लेक्सिकलिटी, देयर इज वन पैरामीटर कॉल्ड लेक्सिकल रिसोर्सेज. लेक्सीज बेसिकली मीन the use of vocabulary. आप कितनी अच्छी vocabulary का इस्तेमाल कर रहे हो. So when I talk about lexis, when I talk about lexical resources, you have to keep in mind that you have to use good vocabulary, and apart from using good vocabulary, you have to also ensure that you get to use range of words, which is something very, very important. All right. Yes? So I'm gonna wait here for a minute and I would want you to give me your doubts if you have anything. Any doubts? Anyone? Please put it in the chat box. I'm actually looking at the chat box. So I'm going to get back to you right away. So let's, discuss and have a very interesting and an interactive session. Quickly do that. I'm going to wait here for like 20 seconds. I'm going to see if anybody has any doubts. So I would love to answer. Yes? Any doubts? Anyone? Any doubts? रेंज ऑफ वर्ड्स मीन्स वोकेबुलरी. यस प्रीत, रेंज ऑफ वर्ड्स का मतलब होता है वोकेबुलरी. वोकेबुलरी बेसिकली आइल्स में वोकेबुलरी के नाम से ना जानने बजाय वोकेबुलरी आइल्स में लेक्सिकल रिसोर्सेज के नाम से जानी जाती है, जिसका मतलब होता है रेंज ऑफ वर्ड्स. तो यस, रेंज ऑफ वर्ड्स का मतलब होता है वोकेबुलरी. अगर आप कोई भी एक, सपोज आप कोई भी एक वर्ड का इस्तेमाल कर रहे हो तो कोशिश करो कि उस वर्ड का यूज़ बारी बारी ना करो. रादर यू ट्राई टू use that word in such a way that you bring some synonyms and you bring some antonyms which shows lexicality. So cock and fire gamer, oh my god. So pie charts. So basically there we are trying to cover some 50 hacks of writing, which is not specifically as per the task, but these are some general tips that I'm discussing, and these are the 50 unknown facts which are going to be really important if you look up to them. So today's discussion is all about the 50 unknown hacks to crack your IELTS writing. All right, any problems? Okay, so let us come and let us talk about 10th point, which says that try not to repeat one word even a single time. So in order to ensure that you have lexicality of resources, in order to show that you are using range of words, always ensure that you do not repeat one word more than once. Do not repeat your words. If you have used a word, try not to repeat it again. Just you should have one single thing, and that is you need to ensure that you have to use one word at one time and you'll not be repeating it. I hope I'm audible enough and I'm clear enough so that all of you can see me. Yes? Any problem? Yashvi is here. We have Preet Kaur. Anything, any doubts? Can we proceed further? आगे बढ़ सकते हैं हम लोग? All right. Let's talk about 11th most important, use of functions. Functions का मतलब होता है कुछ ऐसे fixed sentences. Point 2 and point 10 are same. Do not try to use similar words again and again. Yes, try not to repeat. Yes. So वहाँ पे basically हमने point number 2 में बोला था that do not try to use similar words again and again. But point number 10 says that if you can actually make a note of it, then do not even try to repeat one word even a single line, like even a single time. So if you have written one word, try not to repeat it even for a single time until unless you are in an emergency where you do not get any word to write it down. Right, Preet? Talking about functions. Now, what are functions? Functions are basically fixed words, as in fixed phrases, which are like, for example, I'll talk about some functions like I don't believe, I do not believe the same way, or I do not think the same way. I do not think in the same way, right? So these are some fixed functions जो हम अपने sentences में starting के वक्त या कोई argument बताने के लिए use करते हैं. These are all fixed functions. And what is the use of these fixed functions? They basically help you add a lot of discourse markers. They give a better start to your argument, and they are really good in terms of lifting your bands. अगर बैंड लिफ्टिंग की बात करें, so these are really really good in terms of lifting your bands. So kindly use functions like the defenders of the argument would argue that, writing the argument and then saying, but I do not feel, I do not feel the same way, or I do not believe this because, and then write your reason. So इससे क्या हो जाता है, हमारी reasons और effective हो जाती हैं. When you write your statement, you give your explanation, they become really really empathetical, they become really effective, and that is what the examiner looks forward to. Right. So, I mean, as I told you that I have been teaching a lot of IELTS students internationally and nationally. I've come across a lot of, doubts, a lot of challenges that students face. So looking at those challenges, looking at those, problems, I tried to draft this lesson for the day, which I wanted to cover in such a way that you at least take away 50 important hacks. And people, these are not difficult, these are not no technical things that I'm telling you right now. They are very simple, but these are just like general rules that you need to keep in mind. And why am I telling them general? Even when they are not so general, they are very specific, is the reason because they themselves, they have one good thing about them is that people tend to forget them because they are very easy. Because of that, most of us, we tend to forget that, right? So it is always beneficial, it is always good that you look up to these rules. If you want later, if you want, I can also give you a PDF which you can download probably later, but these are some of my handwritten notes, and I would say these are my handwritten derived rules, or probably some hacks that I think they have benefited my students, and so I wanted to share with my new students as well, and therefore I did it. So looking at all of those things, looking at all of those parameters, I wanted to discuss this important lesson with all of you. Yeah, talking about the 12th important rule that we have for the day, and the 12th important rule talks about use of linking words whenever required. Now I would really want to discuss about this particular point, and this point talks about use of linking words. हम लोग बिना किसी बात के linking words डालते हैं. Over use of linking words is absolutely not marked, it's not allowed. अगर आप बहुत सारे लिंकिंग वर्ड्स डालोगे assuming that you will get marks, sorry, you would not get marks. Be very careful, be very very conscious whenever you are using linking words. What I have seen, students use linking words unconsciously, they just have to put it. You have to be very very mindful while you are putting a linking word. Linking word का मतलब होता है एक आइडिया से दूसरे आइडिया को लिंक करना, या एक पैराग्राफ को दूसरे पैराग्राफ से लिंक करना. Ultimately, you people don't link the paragraphs. What you really do is that you try to link the ideas, and linking words, they help us to connect the ideas in a way that it all looks connected, isn't it? So make sure the agenda of using linking words is met by using appropriate linking words at the right time. Alright, use reference devices in IELTS to avoid repeating same words and same phrases and express arguments with fewer words. Now there are some reference devices which I usually tell that try to use some reference devices such as some some pronouns or some words like that. So try to use sentences which have some clauses in them. Right, for example, my grandmother taught me how to knit a sweater. So here this how is like a reference device because it is referring to what is it is referring to some part which I've already said, maybe earlier, maybe in some previous lines or previous paragraphs. So reference devices say number one, you cut you tend to cut short the word limit, which is like अगर आप बारी बारी पूरे sentences लिखोगे, if you try using the noun phrase again and again, ultimately what will happen, you are going to increase the word limit. So ultimate agenda क्या है writing का? The agenda of writing is that you have to keep one thing in mind, which is like you have to complete your exam within 250 words, and that too in 40 minutes. Try to understand the agenda behind what you are being marked. Don't just blindly do it just because you want to complete your exam. There's no point wherein you are doing your exam but you don't know. हमेशा राइटिंग, रीडिंग, लिसनिंग कभी भी कुछ भी कर रहे हो तो उसको इस तरीके से करो कि आपका जो एग्जामिनर है, आपका जो रीडर है, वो क्या चाहता है. उसके भी तो कुछ पैरामीटर्स होंगे, कुछ क्राइटेरिया होगा, right? So let us talk about the second important thing that we have. Point number 14 talks about planning. How do you design your paragraphs? So when I talk about designing a paragraph, I have something very interesting to discuss with you. All of you might have heard of the word power. Power word suna hai? And this power will add more power to your paragraph, thereby making it very, very powerful. Talking about what power is, power stands for, so power in IELTS is an acronym, right? It's like an acronym जिसको हम open करेंगे and we're going to see what we are going to have. So when I talk about power, power means, planning. It means organizing. It means writing. It means editing. It means things. When I talk about IELTS, planning is very, very important, and the technique with which we do planning is called brainstorming. I hope many of you would know. If not, then catch me live, every day at 7 p.m. and also at 2 p.m. The courses are finished, but I have just recently finished one of my course, which was pure writing course, and it was how to master your writing skills for IELTS. So you can just have a look at the course. You would come across a lot of things about writings, undiscovered facts about writings. So I would say कि अगर time मिले तो definitely try to watch that course. That is really, really good. And I'm also taking a grammar course parallelly every day at 7 p.m. till 9 p.m. late at night. So if at all you get time, please view that course. That course will help you guide and help you aid your preparation in terms of writing and speaking, because it talks about grammar, important grammar topics that we need in IELTS. So the topics are like subject verb agreement, tenses, clauses, voice, compound complex sentences. So I would say that you should have a look at those courses. You would get to learn a lot, as in terms of the prerequisites. Before हम सब IELTS की preparation कर रहे हैं, but then we have to ensure certain things which are like prerequisites, right? We have to ensure that we have something pre-planned or we have done that before, right? So in having all of these things said, we have to keep all these things in mind. Talking about organizing, once you have planned, then you have to also keep in mind कि मुझे organize कैसे करना है. Finally comes the writing stage, which is like the most exciting, I would say. And in that stage, you have to have 5 paragraphs. I usually keep 5 paragraphs. You can keep it 4, but always keep in mind that you have to have break of paragraphs. The 17th rule says about editing. Now, what is editing? You have to look forward. You have to leave some time. You have to actually, at the end of the paragraph, you should have some time, like some couple of minutes, wherein you tend to revise and you tend to edit your paper. Now, what do you understand by revising and what do you understand by editing? Now, when I talk about revision and when I talk about editing, so there are a lot of things that come into picture, and these things are like, for example, you have to check your grammar, you have to check your tenses, you have to also see whether you have revised it correctly. So here I'm going to talk about some tips, and we are going to keep some essentials in our mind when I talk about revising. How do we really do revising, and what are the steps? So talking about the steps, we have some key steps in terms of how we should revise our paragraphs. So the first step, that is point number 18, talks about, does it answer the question? क्या मेरा paragraph, क्या मैंने जो paragraph लिखा है वो answer कर रहा है question को? Is it answering all the parts of the question? Does it include clear organized structures and is organized in different short paragraphs? क्या वो अलग अलग structures में organize हो रखा है? क्या वो paragraphs में divide हो रखा है? All of these questions you have to look forward. Is my writer's opinion clear? क्या मेरे writer का opinion clear है? Am I able to? और writer कौन है हमारा? हम लोग writer हैं. Is my opinion clear? क्या पढ़ने वाला उसको समझेगा? क्योंकि जब आप रिवाइज करोगे तो आप क्या बन जाओगे? आप रीडर बन जाओगे. तो रोल रिवर्सल आइल्स के लिए एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट टेक्निक होती है जो मैं अपने स्टूडेंट्स को हमेशा बोलती हूँ, दैट यू शुड फॉलो. इज दिस द राइट लेंथ? आपने चेक करना है वेदर आई हैव रिटन ऑल द वर्ड्स करेक्टली, एज इन ऐसा तो नहीं है कि मैंने कुछ एक्सटेंड कर दिया हो, कुछ एक्सीड कर दिया हो लिमिट, राइट? Then talk about does the writer includes linking words, expressions. क्या मैंने, writer कौन है, मैं, क्या मैंने linking words, examples, expressions डाले हैं. Then when I talk about evaluation, आपका पेपर किन 4 पैरामीटर्स पे इवेलुएट होता है. एज अ स्टूडेंट, एज अ राइटर, यू मस्ट नो कि आपका रीडर क्या क्या देखना चाहता है. राइट, व्हेन यू प्लान एन इवेंट, व्हेन यू, फॉर एग्जांपल आपने किसी की मैरिज प्लान करनी है, तो आप उससे पूछोगे ना यार कि व्हाट यू वांट इन योर मैरिज, टेल मी व्हाट ऑल थिंग्स यू वांट दिस नंबर ऑफ पीपल, यू वांट दिस नंबर ऑफ स्टेज परफॉर्मेंसेज, यू वांट दिस नंबर ऑफ प्लेट्स, यू वांट दिस नंबर ऑफ डैश. सो अकॉर्डिंगली दे यू कीप इन माइंड कि सामने वाला क्या चाहता है. Similarly, here the counter person is the reader, that is the examiner. So you must know the parameters on which your examiner would evaluate your paragraphs, and the parameters are as follow. They are coherence and cohesion. That means it talks about whether the paragraph should be related to the topic. क्या paragraph topic से related था, ऐसा तो नहीं था कि topic से इधर उधर जा रहा था, या कुछ ऐसा तो नहीं था कि हम लोग fulfill नहीं कर पाए. राइट, लेक्सिकल रिसोर्सेज, किसी भी प्रकार का ऐसा तो नहीं है कि बहुत सारी वोकैबुलरी एक जैसी सेम लिख दी. यू हैड व्हाइल यू वर राइटिंग, यू हैव टू इंश्योर दैट यू हैव हैड अ रेंज ऑफ वर्ड्स इन योर एसे. ग्रामेटिकल एक्यूरेसी, सब्जेक्ट वर्ब एग्रीमेंट, टेंसेस, कॉम्प्लेक्स सेंटेंसेस, क्या मैंने ये सब चीज़ें ठीक से बनाई हैं. टास्क अचीवमेंट, एज इन कि क्या मैं अपना टास्क अचीव कर पाया, क्या मैंने क्वेश्चन के तीनों पार्ट्स जो भी क्वेश्चन ने पूछे, क्या मैं वो बता पाया, in terms of task 1 and task 2 both. Right, so let us come on the next slide and let us talk about some of the other important hacks that we have. So I told you, remember मैंने आप लोगों को बोला था कि you have to use longer words because they are more formal and than shorter words. So which means that longer words like frequently versus often. देखो हम often जैसे word को ना बहुत बार लिखते हैं, but when it comes to word like frequently, we use it very very often, like very rare rather I would say. So कोशिश करो कि लंबे words लिखो. ऐसा नहीं है कि दोनों वर्ड्स हम यूज़ नहीं करते, वी यूज़ इट कॉमनली, बट देन एज कम्पेयर टू दी नंबर एंड एज कम्पेयर टू दी परसेंटेज, आई वुड से ऑफन जो है वो ज़्यादातर यूज़ होता है एज कम्पेयर टू फ्रिक्वेंटली. और व्हाट डू यू से, आई मीन यू कैन बी लाइक वाइस वर्सा एज वेल. Right, you can actually be at a position wherein you say, no Shivangi, I disagree with your point, I disagree to your point, I disagree with you. So that is something that you can do, that is acceptable. But then my question here is that basically you have to have, my point here is that you have to use longer words, lambe words ka istemal karo. Less usual words are more formal than more common words. Now what are less usual words? Usual words and more common words. Like commonly तो हम word use करते हैं short हो गया, small हो गया. But when I talk about formal words, you have to understand that IELTS जो है वो formal words पे टिकती है. There is a standard of writing. Right? कुछ भी लिख के तो सबको ही देख सकता है, तो सबको ही clear हो जाता है ना IELTS फिर. So there are some things that we need to keep in mind in terms of what our examiner will observe. अपने examiner, हमारा जो examiner चाहता है, we have to be that good. We have to write in such a way that our examiner likes it. Are you getting? So any problem still here? Anything that you want me to tell you before I proceed further? All right, I've got. Anything that you have in mind, anything that you want. All right, if not, then I think we can go ahead very quickly. We are running short of time. Yes? All right, so let us talk about the same thing. Let us talk about any questions, anybody? All right, no, which means we are good so far and we can take it forward. And talking about the same, I would want you to talk about words like contractions, short forms. You're not supposed to use short forms. They are just very, very formal and they are not at all acceptable. All right, then talking about the single words are more formal than colloquial words like ordinary words. Single words basically I say, it was told. So basically वो बोल रहे हैं कि colloquial words को कम use करो, single words का use ज़्यादा करो. Complex sentences should be used and in variety of ways to win marks. Complex sentences, as you know, we should use complex sentences. Emphatical structures are more formal. हमने जो emphatical structures के बारे में बात करा, reference devices, basically वो emphatical structures होते हैं जो कि use करने से बहुत formal हो जाती है language. Second, conditional कंडीशनल नंबर सेकंड, दैट इज इफ आई हैड, इफ वाले सेंटेंस का यूज करेंगे. और इफ वाला कौन सा सेंटेंस, जहाँ पे इफ आई हैड अ चांस टू visit Vrindavan, I would definitely go there, right? All right, let's talk about the steps to write a paragraph. So when I talk about steps to write a paragraph, so we have 6 steps to write a paragraph. I'm so sorry for being so fast because we are running short of time and I know you all would have some other commitments. So we're going to talk about it very quickly, and we're going to talk about the steps to write a paragraph. When I talk about steps to write a paragraph, there are some 6 steps that I follow and that I want my students to follow as well. And these steps are that the first thing that you need to do is that you have to annotate the question. You have to read the question, analyze the question, and circle the keywords. Do some underlining and encircling for some important words. After that, you have to plan your essays as we have discussed. Therefore, brainstorming of your ideas is very, very important. Make a plan for your answer and how many ideas you want to include from the list, which should also include examples, which means that you're not just going to write the ideas, you're not just going to explain your ideas, you have to also, side by side, you have to also talk about some examples. So examples are very, very important and they make your arguments effective. Effective arguments are those arguments which have a statement, an explanation, and also an example attached to it. Think of vocabulary even before you start. So when you're doing your planning work, when you're annotating the question, when you're brainstorming, always ensure that you include your vocabulary as well as part of your planning task should have the vocabulary planning as well. Write your paragraphs following your plan. So always write your paragraphs as per the plan that you have created. Don't try to change your plan while you're writing or at the last moment. Don't do that. Check your work carefully and do your revision. As you know, we have already discussed the tips and ways and rules to do your revision. So with this, I think that we are bang on and we are good to go. Any questions, any problems, anyone, I would really want you to put it in the comment section, in the chat box, and I shall get back to you. If not, then let's stay connected. So I would sign off for the day and see you until next time. Catch you tomorrow live for 3 long sessions on YouTube. So one doubt, like a plethora can be used for many but it does not look mugged up. Plethora cannot be used everywhere because plethora ka matlab hota hai बहुत सारा. I know a lot of videos that you watch, a lot of there are a lot of resources which say that you can use plethora, but I totally disagree with this word, as in the use of this word, because it means बहुत सारा, and this cannot be used everywhere, anywhere and everywhere that you want. So yes, it looks mugged up. Good so far? All right, people, so it was wonderful being with all of you. In case of any questions, you can keep on putting on the chat box, else you can connect with me on Unacademy's educator app. Also, I am there on Telegram channel by the name of IELTS by Shivangi, and on Facebook you can catch me live every day, posting. That's simply not, I come live every day, but my material is live every day. Some blogs are also there, so you can have a look at them, and you can find me on Facebook by the name of Shivangi the IELTS trainer. That is my page. Right, so anything, anytime, feel free to connect with me. I'm there to help everybody globally. That's my duty being a teacher. Thank you so much. It was wonderful being with all of you. So let's catch you tomorrow for 3 sessions. One at 1 p.m. The next one at almost 2:30, and post that we can connect somewhere in the evening at 6. So you'll be getting the timing. Stay tuned until then. Goodbye.